Hi everyone and welcome back again to Queenette at the PC podcast. Today I have here with me my favorite person, my friend Gbemi, and we are going to be talking about preparing a child for marriage. You know, over the years, first of all, thank you for coming.
No problems.
Over the years, I've always been thinking that I think our mothers back then had a big issue with training and preparing their male children for marriage. I think they added more to the divorce in this generation because the rate of divorce now is very high compared to back then. That's my belief. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like the way you raise your boy child is really, really important. I mean, it's what makes them or break them, if we're being honest. And I feel like because of the way mothers, I don't know, or parents raise their children, their boy children back then, I mean, they've raised them to have like this sort of sense of entitlement, not being able to what's that word now? Not being able to be accountable sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why there's a lot of there's a I don't know what's that word I'm going to say.
Divorce.
There's a lot of divorce, yes.
I think you're right, and I totally agree with you because parents focus more on female children.
Yeah.
Like, I remembered when I was going to get married back then, my mother would tell me, you have to be this to your husband, you have to be that, you have to be like the people, even right from childhood, they'll be teaching you how to cook, how to do all of those things. And if you don't do anything right, the next thing, like there's always that kind of pressure and that kind of training that a female child must have before going into marriage. But they don't do that for female male children.
Yeah, I mean, in my own case, I mean, my mom too was kind of like that to me, but she was also like that to my brother, honestly. I mean, my brother is okay. He can do literally most of the things for himself, like can cook, he can do all those kind of things. So I feel like mothers need to be very, very intentional. The way you're intentional about your daughter should be the same way you should be intentional about your boy child as well. That's what I think. That's my opinion about this.
And I think that's right, to be honest, because men now think that if they've given you money or they are paying the bills, they've done their right as a man. And I don't know.
They always forget that there's more to it. There's more to it. It's not just about giving money. There's the emotional aspect. There's the respect. Personally, I believe in mutual respect. If you want to be respected, you should also give respect as well. Don't think that, oh, because she's a woman and because I'm a man, because of the way you've been raised, you know. I honestly 100% believe in mutual respect. And the thing that men...
Mutual respect.
Yes, yes, mutual respect. And then the thing that these men don't always understand is that if you treat a woman right, you know, you treat her right, you respect her, she would... Because, you know, a lot of them always complain about how you don't respect them, how you're not submitting.
They like this word submissive. Oh, she's not submissive. She's not... Men like respect. Women also like respect.
Yeah, they always forget that. And I feel like if you treat a woman right, she would submit to you.
Exactly.
That's what
one thing my mother used to tell me is you don't fight for respect, you earn it. It's just like submissiveness. If you... And one thing I think is when women go into marriage, we go into marriage with that, like, oh, we are always excited about marriage. We always go in there with the impression of like goodness and things like that, to be the best version of ourselves and things like that. But when we get into that marriage and we are not getting what we want in return, I think that's when the beast aspect of the woman start coming out. And I used to say to my male friends that a woman will literally double whatever attitude you are giving her to you. So if you are treating her like a queen, trust me, she will treat you like a king. That is majority of women. I know there are still some horrible women out there. No matter how much you show them love and respect and things like that, they will still be horrible towards you. But majority of women out there, I am saying it, that if you treat them like a queen, they will treat you like a king. But most men, especially African men that I've met, they are always like, she's not submissive, she's not giving me peace.
You know what? Let me tell you, like, what they always like to do. They always like to do whatever they like.
Exactly.
And then they expect you to just keep quiet and accept it. And that's unacceptable as well. You can't do...
I mean, that thing, sometimes I always feel like it's a mental illness, honestly. My opinion.
I think majority of African men needs therapy.
Yeah. I feel it's a mental illness for you to do something that is wrong, and then you get called out for it, and then you now come back and then you start to misbehave.
I think that narcissists.
Yeah, it's being a narcissist. Yeah, like I'm just like, what's going on here? You go out, you cheat, you do the things that you're not supposed to do. The woman complains about it, and then you now turn it around.
Do you know the next thing they will tell you? They will say, she's not giving me peace. You they like this one. Men want peace. She's not giving me peace. You will get peace. You will get peace as a man when your attitude portrays peace. But you cannot keep acting irresponsible. You cannot keep acting like going out cheating. You cannot keep acting like nonchalantly, like you don't care, you don't give a shit, and then be saying she's not giving me peace. She's not. Your attitude is not calling for peace.
You are not even giving yourself peace. If we're being honest, you personally, you're not even giving yourself
exactly.
peace. You're not giving yourself peace because, number one, you're playing around, you're lying, you're trying to. I mean, how do you want to give yourself peace if you're doing all that? Please, can we just be real here?
I think their own version of submissiveness is when a lady is just like, shut up.
Yeah.
She doesn't complain. She accepts whatever attitude they give to her. Mm-hmm. She will still like being that good wife that they want, but they can still go out, act like they are single, and yet they are married, still get all the benefits of being married. And the lady is being shut up, like she's like, they're in total control of every aspect of her life, her finances, wherever she goes, the kind of friends she mingles with, places she goes to, the kind of job she does, all of that. Mm-hmm. But the lady keeps quiet when it comes to their own attitude. That is their own version of submissiveness. But you know, one thing I notice again is, no matter, even if they meet those women that are like that, they still end up cheating.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like cheating is not necessarily about whether you're a good wife or not a good wife. I think it's a personal thing. It's, you decide to be a cheat. I mean, it's not necessarily about whether you're a good wife, whether you're, whether you're just perfect and you just try as much as possible to be like a really good family person and all that. I feel like cheating is like a personal thing. You decide to, or it could also be like peer pressure as well for men, how it can, and I think it's also like ego boosting for some men as well, where I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not 100% sure. You can quote me, you can misquote me, but I feel like cheating is like a personal thing. It's not because of how a person behaves or not behave to you. It's your own personal choice to decide that, you know what, no matter how good this woman is, no matter how, or it could also be like a society thing, a societal thing as well.
Yeah,
where
the society
like
it's normal. But it is not normal. I used to say cheating is more expensive than being in a relationship, like in a serious relationship or sticking to your wife. Because when you're cheating, you are literally going to be doing everything possible to hide that from your woman. Yeah. It is mentally draining, it is physically draining, it is financially draining. So it is hard work. So you are even giving yourself more work to do than, and then I think because of all that stress they are going through just to hide that cheating from you, they pass that aggression on you, kind of, and then try to make women think that you are the reason I'm cheating. And
that's the crazy one as well.
I'm telling you as a lady, if your man is cheating, I want you to understand that it is not your fault. Yeah. That is who he is. Yeah. Because I've seen so many women who are depressed, they've been emotionally broken down because they feel like he is cheating because of me. It is not, you are not the reason. I used to say, you are not the reason why he's cheating. My father used to tell me that no matter how good the situation may be, someone who wants to cheat will still cheat. Yeah. And no matter how bad the situation may be, someone who doesn't want to cheat will not cheat. They will always find a reason not to cheat. And
I mean, if you're thinking about it, like also like in a woman's perspective as well, I mean, I know that there are women who cheat and all those kind of things as well, but if you're looking at it from like a woman's perspective, you see that like some women, before they do this kind of things, they think about it, most especially if they've got kids.
Yes.
Think about like their family life, you think, why do I want to destroy this? Do you understand? So that's another point that I'm just trying to put there as well. And I also like to also like let women know that it's not your fault.
Yes.
You know, because obviously I've seen women who are depressed, who are trying everything, you know, literally everything possible. Most especially like when we're religious as well, like when you're Christian.
Yes.
You're like, I don't know, like obviously because the Christianity, or I don't know, maybe Islam, I don't know. I mean, religion, most especially, they tend to be biased against women, and sometimes you literally just have to fight and know that you have like that self-worth. And with me, what I always tell myself is, I mean, the God that I serve is love. I mean, I'm sorry that I'm bringing religion in, because I feel like a lot of
religion
people,
makes a great impact.
yeah. So I always kind of tell myself that my God is love, and because my own God is love, He wouldn't want me to be in a situation where I'm not being loved properly. Because you see, religion, like Christianity, when people are talking about this, and they'll say stay, they'll say manage, they'll say forgive him, you know, God says, do you understand what I'm just trying to put in that, like that religion part as well. I mean, it's really deep. It's I don't know.
You know, they always say that
really
they would say in religion that the Bible says you should submit.
Yeah.
And they're forgotten the part where the Bible also says submit to one another.
Yeah.
They're forgotten the part where the Bible also tells the man that you need to love and respect your woman, so you can obtain favor from the Lord. I used to say to my fellow, if I'm your wife, I am favor. The way you treat me determines how abundant your favor from God will be. Because He literally says that he who finds a wife found a good thing. So in God's eyes, if I can be a good thing, then who is that man to tell me that I am not good? That is it. That's the way I see it. But men usually, I think they just take away that aspect and choose whichever suits them, whichever favors them. Even if you look at the Muslims, they will say, oh, their Quran says they can marry as much as like 4 wives. But if you look at the Quran, it says if you can do equally by them. And we human, let's be honest, you cannot do equally.
You can't.
That means He's telling you that no, stick to one. Because those 4 wives will definitely have different character. But they'll say, oh, the Anobi Muhammad, respect on that, I don't know how to pronounce it, says he marries 4 wives. But if you look at the 4 wives this prophets got married to, widows and things like that, those are the people he got married to. But if you look at the men, the Muslims out there, they don't go out to look for widows. They don't go out to look for women that are disabled, that has disability. They don't go out to look for women that are in the category of who the prophets told them to get married to. And He didn't even tell them to cheat with them. He didn't say you should have an affair with them. He said marry them. That means before you even have anything to do with them, you have to marry them first. And before you can marry them, you have to seek permission from the first wife before you can do. But they skip all those parts and just jump straight into cheating. And then you hear them say, oh, the Quran says I can marry 4. You can marry 4, but how many girls have you slept with? How many girls have you cheated on your wife with? Did your wife even know that you want to marry 4? Me, I'm not against polygamous relationship. But one thing I used to say is, if you're a man and you know you want to marry 2 wives, you want to marry 3 wives, let me know from the beginning of the relationship. Oh, I'm going to marry 4 wives. There are many women that will accept to it. And there are many women that will say no. If I say no, I want just myself and my husband, that means I'm not for you. It's going to cause a problem. So why put me in that situation when you can easily just go and marry somebody else that will accept your own belief with the 4 wives? That way you have problem. But you see men, they will come out with the pretense of it's just me and you, it's just me and you. And later long in the relationship, they will start coming out with, I want to marry again, or start cheating and things like that. And I think that is adding more to the divorce rate. And there's another thing that our parents used to say back then, especially African parents. They will say, no matter how old a man is, he can still marry. Come on.
And if you've had children, nobody is going to look at you.
Exactly. The moment you start giving birth as a woman, your chances of getting remarried again or getting a good person is very slim. No one will look at you. Anyone that sees you just want to have sex with you and go. But no matter how old a man might be, no matter how many children, there's this favor.
That's just like a societal.
Exactly. And I think that's bullshit.
It's bullshit, honestly. I'm sorry, but that's just what it is, honestly.
Like,
if you're, I mean, I mean, for women, I think that, well, you were saying something about not being against polygamy.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm against polygamy because I know what the effect of polygamy is.
Yeah, that
I'm
is
from a
you.
polygamous home, and I mean, this is a bit personal, but I used to be I used to be very, very close to my dad because I was the only girl, and everybody knew, my friends, everybody when I was in school always knew that Gbemi is a daddy's girl. But when he got married, that just changed the trajectory.
Yes.
And I'm just against it. I'm 100% against polygamy. So what did I want to say? So I just want to talk about how, because we're talking about like the way men are raised and all those kind of things. I feel like women, we need to do better in raising our boy children.
Exactly.
We have to be very intentional. I don't know, I feel like you have to maybe tell them. I don't know. I mean, what do you think, like, in raising a boy child?
I think they should raise a boy child the same way you raise your girl's child, your female child.
Yeah.
Raise them with love. Let them know, like my son now, before he goes to bed, I'll literally hug both of them, my daughter and my son, like, I love you so much. Remember, mommy loves you. One thing about these kids is they don't listen to what you say, but they follow by actions. And I think that really affected a lot of male children because imagine a male child that sees the father or that knows that the father used to eat the mother. That child will grow up thinking that eating my wife is a normal thing. A child that grew up in a home whereby he has never seen the father telling the mother, I love you. Do you think that child will grow up to know it's a normal thing to remind your wife constantly that I love you so much, to reassure the wife? No, it will not. So I think because they don't see those things, the way they are treating their wife is based on the way their parents, their father treated their mother.
Yeah, so
that's why they will expect you to accept it.
Please pause there. You see, another thing that is a challenge for me that I always feel like is also a really big problem is how these men, they see the negative effect of this thing on their mom. So why can you not just break that circle?
Because they've not been to therapy.
It's crazy.
They're selfish. Just like their father is selfish, caring about himself, not caring about the mental health of the wife. They'll pick that as well from their father. So they won't care. They will just expect you to accept it. My mother accepted it, so you should accept it. But the thing is, they would not want their female daughter to accept
your mom. This is just crazy to me. You love your mom because most men love their mother.
Of course.
You saw the effect of this thing on your mom. Why would you want your wife to go through that? And then wanting your wife to go through that and then not wanting your daughter. It's just...
I think that's just like the narcissist behavior. I don't know. Or maybe... I think I will blame the mothers as well. Okay. Because if you are in that kind of situation and you are not walking away, that means you are telling your children it is okay.
Yeah, most especially your girl.
You see a lot of females like they'll be in an abusive relationship and they'll say, I'm staying there because of my children. I'm there because of my children. No, you are not there because of the children, because you're actually ruining the child's life. So the female daughter will grow up thinking that being abused is okay. And the male child will grow up thinking abusing someone is okay because the mother stayed there for years. And probably maybe the mother is still even there.
Yeah. And
they'll expect the other partner to accept it. You get my point? And it's going to affect the female child because the female child will lose their self-esteem. Yeah. They'll feel like it is okay for me to accept it. A man can abuse me today and then buy me flowers or buy me gifts and tomorrow and think it's okay. I have to let it go. So I used to try and encourage majority of women that if you are in an abusive relationship, the best thing you can do for your children is walk away from the situation. Yeah. That way you can easily tell your son that I left your father because he was being abusive, which means that if you grow up to be an abusive man, your woman will leave you and you end up being alone because no woman wants to stay with an abusive man. And it's easy for you to also tell your female daughter, like show them that I left your father because he was being abusive, which is to tell you that don't ever stay in an abusive relationship. Yes. I think we women need to do the work. We need to put in more effort and train our children, be intentional, like you said. Yeah. Put the same effort you are putting on your female child. Put the same effort on the male child. Yes. Teach them what it is to love, how to show love. Yeah. Like many male children, like the Africans, they don't even know African man cannot even kiss their wife in the presence of the children.
Wow.
I'm not saying like deep kissing and things like that. Some African men have not even for once hugged their wife in the presence of the children.
Mm-hmm.
The only time you see them kiss their wife or hug the wife is maybe when they want to get intimate.
Mm-hmm.
But on a normal day, you will not see them do.
Is.
And when you are not doing those things in the presence of those children, how do you expect them to know? They can't know because you didn't show them.
Yeah.
And I don't even blame them as well, because maybe their own fathers as well did the same thing. So it's like something that is generation that is going on and going on and going on.
You have to break the circle.
We need to do better as Africans. That's why you see a lot of African men, they'll say, oh, I'm paying the bills. I'm doing what I'm meant to do. It's not just about the bills. It's not about the bills. They need to understand that it's not just about you putting money down, paying the bills.
That thing is the mentality as well. Like, obviously, because their father did that as well. It's not about paying the bills. Because nowadays, women to pay the bills.
Exactly.
Women pay, like,
especially here in UK, it's 50-50. Or maximum 60-40.
Yeah, so you cannot say, you can't say because you're paying. No.
You know what they do? I think here in England, what I think majority of men do, the ones that I've met, I've not like, they will say, like from personal experience, let me say from personal experience, they will tell you that this is England. A man cannot pay the bills alone. We have to split it. You have to support. And the woman will be like, in my own time, I don't have problems supporting with the bills. Of course, I'm supporting with the bills. We were doing with my ex. I think we were doing the bills 60-40 at that time. I was like fully supportive because I was working full time. But then when it comes to cheating and all other characters, then you'll be hearing I'm an African man. It is normal. Like, bro, seriously.
Oh my God.
That's when you hear I'm an African man. Like, it is normal for African. If you want to be Africa, be Africa. And the thing is, when they are with a white lady, when they are with Caucasian, like English people, like different races entirely from their fellow Nigeria, they are always different in character.
Really?
I think so. Probably because they know those ones will not accept it. I think we ladies accept it. I can't remember the video I was watching, and the guy said that they asked him that, why do men cheat? It was a man that was saying this, and he said that men cheat because women accept it. Majority of men will not accept cheating. They will tell you, even when they are cheating, that the moment I caught you cheating, that is it. And you will see women not cheating because they've laid their standard that I am never accepting this. But you will see we women, we know that thing is killing us, is hurting us, but we'll still be like, okay, no problem. We just want to do everything. We don't have standards. Let me say, women don't have standards.
You need to have standard. It's not an easy thing. Like, it's not something that is so easy to talk about and all those kind of things. But you need to just find yourself. I mean, for a woman, that's why I feel like, and know your standard as well. Honestly, I mean, this conversation is really, really deep. I mean, we're just talking about it on the surface. Honestly, if we get like women to come and just talk about their experience and all these kind of things, I mean, we would go on and on and on and on, It's ongoing. Honestly.
But we need to break the cycle, and I think that starts from parents. We women, we have a lot. I don't know. I would even say women alone. Males out there, father, mother.
Fathers.
Need.
And the thing about it is, these men are really important as well.
They're important.
They're important in the children's life, honestly, because I'm not gonna lie. One of the reasons why I have like sort of like a good self-esteem to a certain aspect is because I had a good father figure. Like when I was growing up younger, I knew my dad loved me. So it kind of, it's also part of the reason why there's some things that a guy would do to me that I can't accept as well.
Yes.
Because, so like men also need to understand the fact that their kids need them. Honestly, both male and female, they need them. And I don't know, this conversation is deep and is really emotional for me. Because men just tend to be selfish, and they don't understand the impact of their actions on their children as well. You know, like, just like I think I said it earlier, before a woman takes a decision, sometimes she'll think about her children, like, how is this going to affect my children? You know, but I feel like men don't always think about it that deeply. They just go and do whatever it is they want to do. They don't think about how, you know, it will affect their children negatively. And it's also because of these things that the things that their father did to them that is affecting them negatively is what they're carrying on So that's why I don't always understand how they can't just break the circle. Do you understand? And just like you said, you mentioned therapy as well. Maybe a lot of men just need to go to therapy, talk about this thing, heal, and then, move on from there.
I think if you talk about therapy to them, the first thing they think is probably maybe you're telling them they are crazy. But it's not about telling them they are crazy. Let's be honest. I think every individual, we've got like some kind of trauma. It could be like a childhood trauma.
Yeah.
It could be a trauma that we had growing up.
Yeah.
It could even be like a relationship trauma.
Yes.
There's like this kind of trauma that every individual have had that can be of a negative impact in our character, or that can affect us while we're like me now. I have like a serious trust issues.
Yeah.
When it gets like I used to think that if I go into any relationship, I'm gonna mess it up with my trust issue. And I got the trust issues from my previous relationship. That I think that's a part of me that I still need to heal from to be able to trust again, because I've been lied to, I've been betrayed. So I think every individual has that kind of, because there are some men as well that have been through abuse while growing up, and they've not talked about it because the society made them feel that as a man you have to be strong, but forgetting the fact that these men are also humans. It is okay for them to be vulnerable. It is okay for them to cry. But when you see a man crying and expressing how they feel, the society will say, oh, he's been feminine and blah blah blah. It is okay for them to show that side because they are human, they have feelings, they have art as well. But the society made them buckle up a lot of things. And I think that is also affecting them in their relationship. That's why majority of men cannot even handle a marriage. I think so. But they've not actually talked about, and they need therapists. And when I mean therapists, I'm not talking about church,
psychological,
and
because pastor,
exactly, because many people will go to the pastor, like pastor therapy or prophet therapy. I'm talking about professionals that are trained in that aspect, that is their field. Professional therapists that actually went to school, they have they are licensed for it. Go for proper professional therapy, heal before going into another relationship, because I feel majority of men have not healed, and because they've not healed and they're into another relationship, they are passing that trauma on another innocent person, and that another innocent person is leaving that relationship again with another trauma you've passed on to them. So I think what is really actually affecting a lot of African men is the society, religion, and their upbringing. And an African man that used to say, oh, men want respect. They will find it difficult to come to their wife and say, I am sorry when they did something wrong. But then they will expect the woman to come crawling on her feet. Oh, my husband, Olowori me, giving them all those oriki akoke, all those things to, when she's wrong, to apologize, to say, I'm sorry, just to make them feel their ego. But they cannot just show that vulnerability side of them, that to show that they also have conscience, they have feelings, and say, I'm sorry.
This one, you see when you're talking about this thing, I mean, it's so crazy. It's so crazy because there was a time when I was younger, I think when I was in like secondary school, something like that. I can't remember what my dad did. My dad was the one that was wrong. I'm sorry, I'm just saying this. It's a bit personal. But it was my mom who was apologizing.
Exactly, that's what they make us feel.
And I'm just like, is this not crazy?
It is crazy.
Like, I feel like it's crazy. My mom was the one that was now apologizing to my dad, begging him, saying, oh, sorry. And my young self at that time, I was like, what's going on? What is going on here? I'm just like, okay.
I think that's a narcissist behavior.
And then my dad was just like,
oh, your dad did not get angry and say he's not eating, because they do that a lot. They'll say they will not eat.
So like, I was just like, what exactly is going on here, So I mean, honestly, we need to do better. And women, we need to have standards as well.
Exactly.
I know that like having standards, it leads to like a lot of divorce and all this kind of things and all that. But I just feel like if you just keep taking it, they become worse at the end of the day.
Yes.
And sometimes it's always best for you to choose yourself. That's what I think. That's my own opinion. I mean, everybody's got their own opinion.
I think because men are putting themselves first, women need to start putting themselves first as well. If you go to the hospital, especially in the mental institute, you see a lot of women there compared to a lot of men.
Really?
And if you see the women that are there, about 80% of them are in there because of a relationship, because of a man, mental breakdown, depression, like it got really worse because they trusted their man so much. But the men that are there, you will see them probably maybe because of drug and things like that. You will hardly see a man in a mental institute because of a woman, because they always try to make themselves happy. They'll find their happiness. You see that happiness they are claiming, oh, she's not making me happy, she's not giving me peace. They will find it outside. It's we women that will stay in that place that is making us cry, making us frustrated, making us being on drug, all because we want to stay married. Because majority of women see marriage as an achievement. I used to say marriage is not an achievement. Marriage is a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. If it's with the right person. Exactly, if it's with the right person. But if you make a mistake by ending up with the wrong person, the best thing you can do for yourself is just find yourself again, move. Your mental health is so important. The moment a lady loses her mental health and she's not on medication, it will keep getting worse. And don't forget, the same man who put you in that situation will be the same man to leave you in that situation. He would say, oh, she's not mentally stable, that's why I left. And it would go. It will definitely go. So I think we women now need to start putting ourselves first, and we need to do better in training up our children.
Yes.
I think we really need to do better. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
this is a very, very interesting conversation.
Like seriously, we can just keep going on and on and on. But anyways, that's going to be all for today. And guys, don't forget, if you've not subscribed to my channel, all you have to do is just press on that subscription button and the notification bell, so you can always get notified anytime I post the video. Also, like this video, engage with it, share it with your family and friends. You don't know who you might be helping with this video, because there are a lot of women out there who are going through, you know, abuse in the relationship, either emotionally, financially, or physically. There's different kind of abuse. Some people they're always getting abused and you wouldn't even know. You see them smiling outside and they are going through a lot. This video might help, you know, a lot of them. And this video might also help a lot of men to start seeking therapy. They should start thinking like, you know what, I need to sort out a void, like a problem, a trauma that I've had in me for a very long time that has not been, because a lot of men need therapy. I wouldn't even say a lot of women now need therapy, because we are always going on with one trauma or the other, and we are always passing that aggression, that insecurity, that trust problem. We are always passing it on to the next. So share this video with your family and friends.
Also add quickly as well that for women, as women as well, we need to be kind to each other as well.
I used to say that, where is women supporting women? There's something that I noticed. Oh guys, sorry guys, but let's quickly chip in this. There's something that I noticed, that when a guy is cheating, and he goes to the family, you go to the guy's family, they will support their son. But when a lady goes to her own family, even her family goes against her when she's traumatized deep down. And when you go to a male's friend as well, the male version will support their friend. They might now secretly inside and say, guy, wait till you do no good, and things like that. But we females, instead of us to at least support our fellow female, we criticize as well. So like we need to do better.
As women,
we need to
let's be kind to each other as well. Kindness goes a long
way, and that will help a lot of women to start speaking up. When we start trusting each other more, and not start talking about our pains, like, and making jest of someone else's pain. When we need to start, you know, supporting each other, encouraging each other, even when someone knows that you've got them, just holding someone like alone, like you'll be okay, goes a long way. Everything will be fine, goes a long way. So that's going to be all for today. Don't forget, subscribe, share this video with your family and friends, like, comment, share your opinion down below, and whatever you want us to talk about again. And we are going to see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.